So, with that being said, this overall draft was phenomenal. It was great. There was some disappointments, there was some reaching, there was some highs, there was some lows. But now what we're going to talk about is our team, our favorite team, the Patriots,
Yes,
and how
sir.
well they did during this draft. Um, First off, I just want to say New England, it it was a pleasure to see New England diving into this draft the way that they did.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick did something that he hasn't done since I don't know when, but first round picked up a quarterback, not just any quarterback, Mac Jones. Love it.
Yeah.
Love this pick. And I am so excited to see him operate under Josh McDaniels.
Yeah. Bring up a lot of intelligence, right? They bring up nice release, and a way to pre-snap, look at disguises, read the defense. So they preach a lot of intelligence, and pros is very fast. You're going to see a lot of different disguises, things that you haven't seen before. So his processing speed is going to be important. I'm interested to see how he translates over. Anybody can say whatever they want that he had tons of weapons. Okay, Tua had weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow had weapons. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a victim of the weapons all the time, right? The guy's got to have some type of talent, and he does. He does. I don't think he had the strongest arm. I don't think he's crazy mobile, right? But if he can do what he does pre-snap and be able to read defenses the way he did in college, then it's going to be fun to watch. And if he can run the complex playbook of New England, this is going to be great. Now, it's Cam Newton's team. I don't see Cam Newton being the same player he was last year. He's got more weapons now. It's been a year in this system. He's got more time now. He's not hopefully not going to have COVID again, right? So he had COVID. So Cam Newton's not just going to hand over the keys. So this is going to be a good year for Mac to just sit back, learn a little bit, learn from the veterans. You know what I mean? It's kind of be like a red shirt year. Love to
Mm-hmm.
see them going first round for a quarterback. I mean, it was a need. It was a definite need. He was there. He dropped down. Um, would I like to see them trade up for Justin Fields? I mean, being a few picks away, sure, but not for another first round pick. I don't feel like another first round pick for next year, giving it up for Justin Fields warranted the move just because Mac Jones was dropping. And the gap there is probably not huge in Bill Belichick's eyes. My eyes either. I think they both have pros and they both have cons. I don't think New England's going for this craze of, hey, I need a mobile, crazy quarterback that can make every damn throw on the run. New England's going to stick to their guns. They're going to stick to their games. They're going to run it through the tight ends. They're still going to ground and pound the ball, and they're going to have a quarterback with a quick release. That's fine. It's whatever works for you, whether it's going to win you a Super Bowl. So I like the move.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree with Bill Belichick's decision on not trading up. And the reason why is he knows what's needed right now for this team and what's going to be needed. And um, just trusting the process. I just like the decision in general for Mac Jones. He's a smart quarterback, and I feel like he can really fit the scheme
Yeah.
for New England. I mean, if you think about it, we never really had a running quarterback at all.
Right.
We never had that. We had somebody that could sit in the pocket, and we did it well. You
Right.
know, and granted, we had Tom Brady, who is the GOAT. And granted, we had him, but what Belichick did was he surrounded him with a great line that can actually hold it off. Um, Granted, Tom Brady had one of the quickest releases, and just aesthetics and all of that when it came to how he threw the ball. But I feel like Mac Jones can really thrive under Josh McDaniels, and And it's not even just that. It's the fact that he's going to be able to see the veterans do what they do and be able to learn this playbook a little bit better. I'd be okay with not seeing him play this year. I'd be totally fine with that. But you know what that's going to do is that's going to set us up for the next year or two when eventually we're not going to have Cam Newton, and Mac Jones can easily step in and say, "Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let me show you guys what I got." And so I think I agree with you that he is most definitely going to be redshirted this year. But I don't see that as an issue. I see this as being an opportunity to learn the playbook, the complex playbook of New England. And Josh McDaniels is really going to take him under his wing and say, "Hey, let's go. We got this."
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not that he can't start. I think he can start day one. He is pro ready, but it's just Cam Newton is not going to hand over those keys like that. I mean, Cam Newton's competitive, man. And either way, he's a freak athlete. And he was the MVP of this league in 2015. So he's just not going to hand over keys like that. Cam Newton he's a pro's pro. So that's the reason why I don't think he is going to play. And if he plays any meaningful games, I don't think so, bearing any injury or anything to Cam Newton. Cam Newton is probably going to be on a short leash, though. I think, if it starts to show up again, a lot of things that we've seen last year, then maybe 8 games in, 9 games in, having some problems, and there you go. But also Stidham's not just going to sit back and sit on his ass and be like, okay, I guess I'm the third string. I think he's going to go out there and compete as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. But, got to protect your investments with a good line, and they have a good line, and he's going to be in a great spot. I think this is the perfect landing spot for Mac with his abilities and what New England has to offer, what they did in the offseason. It's just the perfect spot for him.
Yeah, it was definitely the timing right now was actually perfect for this. Yep. This is going to give him enough time to actually grow. And that's what we need. We need a long-term quarterback. That's what we need.
Finally.
And we potentially have that. And I can't say that it's guaranteed, but potential. Big potential.
Wasn't even my favorite pick.
No.
Wasn't even my favorite pick.
I am not gonna lie to you. I was super excited to see this though.
Yeah.
And we didn't draft a quarterback in the first round in such a long time.
Hey, Drew Bledsoe was the last one, number 1 overall.
I believe so. Mm-hmm. I believe he was the last one. But even with that, we picked up Tom Brady, and obviously everyone knows the story. Picked up Tom Brady in like, what was it, round 7, round 6?
Round 6, 199, yeah.
Round 6, 199. And even then he stood behind Bledsoe and watched. And so I think, again, with the experience and just being able to sit back and learn everything, he's going to do great. With that being said, I kind of want to shift gears. So let's talk about the next pick that they got, which is Christian Barmore from Alabama. I like it. He is a high-level pass rusher, and he's going to do some damage, I think, in the interior and really, really put some meat on this defense where we need it. What do you think?
That's my favorite pick. I probably should have been in the first round to get him in the second round, trade up. I think it was great. Is a player that he didn't really turn it on till big games. Then he really, really, really turned on the motor. But getting those pressures in interior and being able to rush the passer from the inside, I mean, he's good, man. And that's exactly what we needed. Add a little bit more beef also to help stop the run, which we have a multitude of options now that we didn't have last year. But his interior rush is going to be key into this defense, especially with the edge rushers that we have and the linebackers that we have that are able to rush the quarterback. It's going to be fun to watch. He's going to play. He's going to get a bunch of snaps. He should have been a first rounder. I'll say it again. We got a steal in the second round. This kid is a stud. Can't wait to see it. It's not like he's been amazing all 4 years at Bama. You know what I mean? It's the big games that really showed out for him. Regular season games, see flashes here and there. But when it was on the line and it mattered, he balled out. Favorite pick in the draft.
Yes. So, right. So they picked up Christian Barmore, right? Then New England said, we're not going to go with a receiver. We're going to go with an edge. Ronnie Perkins from Oklahoma.
Yes.
And that's another one, right?
Yes.
And so when you pick up the likes of Christian Barmore, who in itself, second round, that's a steal. Then you pick up Perkins, who, again, I feel another steal, who is another edge who I feel should have most likely went in the second round.
Yeah, he's great value.
And his value alone should have went in the second round. And so I think the Pats are going to be able to find a role in this defense for him.
Oh, yeah.
And with an edge rusher like him and what he did when he was in Oklahoma, I think it's going to set him apart from a lot of players on this team. And I think he's going to do great. Again, two players who were steals through this draft from the Pats, Christian Barmore, Ronnie Perkins. Great pickups on this defense. This is what we need. This is what, again, is going to set this defense apart from any other defense in this, and even in our conference. And so I thought that was super awesome to just be able to see, to see them. They go QB first round, then they go defense, Christian Barmore. Again, you said it, he's a steal. Then they go Ronnie Perkins, another steal. And then after that, they go with Stevenson, again, from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Running back, right? Who's another big body. Granted, he's going to have to fight for his spot there, but it's another position that we filled for a running back,
Yeah, it goes back to the grounded pound situation.
Yep.
But I mean, going back to Perkins, I don't think he's going to play as much as Christian is, but he's going to be a situational kind of rush. He has got a high motor, knack for getting to the quarterback. So getting quarterback hurries and quarterback hits. I think the kid is going to be a situational pass rusher, and he is disruptive, and especially when he's healthy. So great value in the third round. I agree. Probably should have been second round. So I love the value pick there. Adding it onto the defense with, again, the slew of moves that New England has made in the offseason, spent all that money on defense and offense, but defense, Judon, right? You bring him on, and then you add some beef in the center of the defense. It's going to be fun because you got to think of it. You got Uche, you got Winovich, you got Hightower, you got Kyle Van Noy back, you got Matt Judon, okay? And then you bring in a guy like Perkins with another high motor like Winovich. It's going to be fun to watch. Him, Uche, Winovich, that kind of rotation. It's going to be fun. Now, getting that beef at running back, kind of like a LeGarrette Blount kind of situation. He's going to kind of hawk at that goal line, right? Yeah. Not the fastest thing in the world, but he's big, and he's kind of like north-south, right? You're going to hit those holes hard, and he's not he's going to get any cheap yardage. He's going to work for that yardage, and he's going to bulldoze some people. So I kind of like that, red zone, hand it off. You know what I mean? Him and Damian Harris going to kind of go back and forth on that, but it's going to really tire out these defenses that we face next year. We run the ball early and often with these big backs like that. Defenses are not going to want to tackle when it comes fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. So wait, hold on. Because I got to answer something towards what you said with Ronnie Perkins. You said the rotation, right? And that's one of the things that I'm looking at. Now, granted, he might not be a legitimate starter, but he is going to be in a rotation,
Oh
and
yeah.
that is what's going to set us apart in that
Oh yeah.
aspect. Because when one guy's getting tired, guess what? Guess who's coming in? The next guy. And then when that next guy, next third down, fourth and long, things like this. Like that's what I'm talking about. Is this guy is going to make a difference on this team because he's no slouch. He has, again, he's another guy that has a high motor that can get off this ball as quickly as it gets out into their hands, and so that's what is needed on that edge. Especially somebody that can get underneath. So when you have these two guys in the line, it's just super exciting. These picks, kind of a little bit of a trend, right? You got round one, you get a guy from quarterback from Alabama. Round two, you get another guy from Alabama, and then round 3 and 4, you get two guys from Oklahoma. So it's exciting to see that. Another one that I thought was really good, and I thought they did very well with this pick was McGrone, linebacker from Michigan. I thought this was good because, again, he has some room to grow, I guess you could say. You could say that with any of them, but um, he's only 20 years old, and he has the coverage ability of a linebacker, or of basically like a corner. He has some speed on him, but I don't know if he'll be a legitimate starter. But again, going back to that rotation, I think he's going to be in a good rotation with some of these guys, maybe, and get some snaps in as well. So I could see that possibly happening. But I like this pickup. I thought it was a good pickup. It's really gonna beef up this defense and beef up our linebackers.
Yeah,
So
it's added depth, and we'll see how he comes back from injury.
mhm.
But it's a good added depth. I think we were a little thin at linebacker for a little bit, and then all the opt outs last year. So adding some youth to that linebacking room and adding some depth was important. Being in the later rounds, it is what it is. But it's good. It was a good depth move. I like it, and we'll see what he turns into. Maybe another Bentley. He's definitely quicker than Bentley. Bentley's a thumper. So we'll see. I like it. I like the depth. We needed it. We needed to get younger at linebacker.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. It's with the Patriots working on the defense, I think one of the things that Belichick realized is, like, yes, it's good for us to be working on our offense, because that's what all we did for the past almost 20 years was work on a lot of the offense, some defense here and there. We had a lot of guys that would stay in, or that would stay with us, and we would pick up some decent picks, but we wouldn't be spending crazy money on our defense. We would spend most of the money on our offense.
Because he didn't
And
draft well offensively.
exactly. So most of the times we would be drafting more defense than offense, and maybe pick up a receiver here and there that he liked. But it's nice to see that now our defense is getting a lot more limelight now, because our offense, we're still obviously trying to rebuild and trying to figure things out and trying to get things situated on our offense, such as our quarterback situation. Granted, we have Cam Newton now and we have Mac Jones, but again, that's still an unsettled question of whether that is going to be the answer. I think, with that being said, them really diving into the defense and putting the money into the defense, just doing that in general is really going to be a bigger help, and it's going to help us out in the long run when it comes to the games themselves, because it's going to be a lot harder to score on us when you got big bodies like that on defense.
Yeah, I
So
think I think Belichick stuck to his guns. He's always drafted well on defense, and he spent some more money on defense when losing. He only lost a couple players, and we had the money to do so this year. Opt outs really hurt that defense last year. Chung just retired.
yep.
So he addressed everything that he really needed. And they kind of had a feeling that Chung was going to retire, picking up Jalen Mills. So he just really stuck to his roots and decided to go spend money on offense and continue to draft on defense that he does very well, find guys, and then added a player like Matt Judon in free agency to add more to that defense. But offensively, Belichick does not draft well unless it's a tight end. I feel like in the past, like last year's draft, he didn't draft well a tight end either. But yeah, defense is the name of the game for Belichick, and everyone should be put on notice with this defense because it's going to be crazy. You know, you bring back J.C. Jackson on a 1 year, and then you still got Stephon Gilmore, who we still have to iron things out for because he's not going to play on that contract. So I imagine extension coming if he's not going to get traded, and his value is not going to be crazy high coming off an injury. So, but still, keep him, extend him. The defense is going to be fun.
Exactly. So we're gonna go into the next one here that some of the other picks that they got. So round 6, they picked up Joshua Bledsoe from Missouri. Fast corner for sure. You know, this is one of those that I think they did pretty well with. Another one, just I feel kind of like filling in the gaps here.
Yep.
You know, just putting some more depth into our defense.
And special teams. Depth and special teams.
Yep, and special teams as well. And then also picking up William Sherman, again, more depth, an offensive tackle. So most of these were depth, and then you pick up a guy like Trey Nixon in the 7th round, pick 242.
Mm-hmm.
So from UCF.
Yep.
Right. Why so late in the round?
Oh, I mean, it was Ernie. It was Ernie's pick. Ernie, this is his last draft. Went ahead and retired. So Ernie Adams, amazing football mind, and Patriots fans everywhere. We appreciate the ninja in the back that we know nothing of what the hell the guy was doing because he was the ninja in the background. But this was his pick. And if it's Ernie Adams' pick, then he's probably going to be a Pro Bowler. But he made the selection and picking up a wide receiver quick. Guy runs like a 4.4. Mm-hmm. Just bring him to camp and see what the guy can do. I mean, obviously the Patriots need something on wide receiver as well, you know. Mm-hmm. So they didn't go wide receiver high, and I didn't expect them to either. They made some moves in the offseason to address the wide receiving core for what they wanted to do. I didn't see them picking high on a wide receiver. I don't think they're done with N'Keal Harry. So it's a depth move, and it was Ernie's last pick.
Yeah, I didn't really expect them, obviously, to go high either on the wide receivers. You know, I really like the picks that they did. They really invested into the defense, which I feel like should have been and was the main priority in this. You know, again, we got some things that we're still trying to figure out here. But at the end of the day, if we're addressing these main concerns, such as defense, I feel like we'll be in a good place.
Yeah.
And that's what really matters the most. Just so for the wide receiver core, we got Kendrick Bourne in there. We got Nelson Aguilar. Myers is still there.
Yep.
And then N'Keal Harry. And then obviously, you know, Matthew Slater.
Yeah.
But he's our special
team stud. Yeah. I mean, Olszewski is too. And, you know, Gunner's really good. I'd see him playing a little bit more receiver this year, though. Especially with Adam and retiring.
Yeah, exactly. So this year is going to be an interesting one. And it's going to be great. I think this year's going to be great. You know, I think the thing that made me feel this way is it's not the Mac Jones pick. It's not even the draft that made me feel this way, to be honest with you. It's when we picked up Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. because having that double tight end set kind of brings you back to the good old days. And, you know, and you look at a lot of quarterbacks that have been successful with this kind of scheme, and you can really see this working out. And that's one of the things that really put some hope into this upcoming season is when we got those 2 picks. Just Jonnu Smith alone has value.
Yeah, 100%.
Jonnu Smith alone just has value. And granted, Hunter Henry, you know, another one that was in the free agency that was right behind Jonnu Smith in ranking. So
I think it was easily interchangeable between those two.
Yeah. So just picking up those 2 would definitely put some hope that maybe this year we can actually do better than what we did last year.
Oh, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
It's going to be better.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not really too worried about it. I'm excited. I'm actually planning on going to one of the games this year. I'm trying to go to one of the games this year.
Yeah,
So,
I might have to take a trip down to Miami, even though New England loves to lose in Miami. I might have to take that trip.
Oh, you don't play with me. I'll come down there because up here, it gets super cold. So I'll take a trip down to Miami to go watch a game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I'm down. And if it's a loss, it's a loss, whatever. But I'm down to watch it.
So either way, yeah, this draft was unbelievable. It was super exciting. Again, it's exciting as a Pats fan, man, because it was just, you know, it's awesome to see Belichick on a whole different wavelength, you know, compared to previous years. So,
well, hey, when the owner says it's got to get better, he did a better job.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's usually pretty stubborn.
Well, he likes to do his picks by himself usually. Yeah.
Yep. And this year, Kraft was like, "Yo, not this year."
Nah, after I spent all this money in free agency, this draft better be good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So some definitely good picks this year in this draft. Super exciting, super thrilling. This upcoming season is going to be one that's going to be interesting, bro. When you got teams like the Arizona Cardinals, and you got teams like Cleveland Browns, you know,
the Chargers, the Rams, Kansas City, man.
Yep. Oh, the Rams. Bro, that's going to be a problem. Miami.
The Niners. I mean,
the Niners. Oh, my God.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But I'm just going to say Arizona, the Browns, don't sleep.
Boom.
Don't sleep.
Mm-hmm. All right. And on that note, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys for coming out, listening to us. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Y'all have a good night.